Welcome to Mark's Manuscripts, everyone. We are not airing our previously scheduled episode for this week. We couldn't. We just couldn't do it. It didn't feel right, and we didn't want to be dishonest, and we didn't want to ignore what was happening. So if you're listening, thank you if you've gotten this far. But this episode touches on the current political realities that we're all facing right now. And if that's not where you are today, if you don't want this voice to be even louder in your head, just skip this episode. That's okay. It touches on fascism, authoritarianism, and just the perfectly frank shitstorm that we're all living. We will return to our scheduled programming soon. I don't know what's for you, so you know that you are not alone. So thank you for listening. I don't feel comfortable, like not even comfortable, like I don't feel like right, like posting like what we normally post, like even this week, like posting shit that's like fun and happy-go-lucky and like all of that stuff. Like it's gonna be like really hard for me, and I know that it's like gonna serve as like a distraction for, but it's just really hard to even think about like where to start without being like inauthentic with it.
Yeah. So for anybody who's like listening to this,
Yeah, that's right.
we, we had an episode for this week, which we'll put out next week, but it just felt, I don't know, it just felt like really strange and tone deaf to like put out an episode of like us complaining about having to social media market as authors and stuff when like there's so much else going on, and it's like fun and funny, and there'll be a time for it, but like it just didn't feel like now was the time. And I don't know, I feel like going back to the whole mission of like why we even created this podcast was like so that writers, authors, even readers like have a community or like feel less alone and can have a drink with their girlfriends and talk about just all the things that we go through, like doing this thing together. Um, and so I feel like if our community and like all of us are feeling this way, then like, I
We
don't
have
know,
to
we're
talk
all
about it.
just like, yeah, like you're just not alone in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, I don't know, we just wanted to jump on here tonight. It's literally Sunday night. And we're not going to edit this. We're just going to post
Yeah.
whatever comes out of our mouths. Um,
Yeah.
and
Like
just so that, yeah, we all feel less alone in this struggle because like what we're doing is really isolating, and then the world is feels on fire. And it's really hard to do all of those things and keep your brain
mhm.
in like a good space.
Yeah.
I'm fine, Dave.
Especially like it's it it's felt like it's been on fire for like a really long time. But if you've paid attention like thus far, like I'm from Wisconsin. I live in Green Bay. And so what's happening right now in Minnesota hits really, really close to home. I have friends that live in Minneapolis, outside of Minneapolis, spent
A
time
lot of you
there.
live in Minneapolis, like a lot of the
Yes.
community. Yeah.
And it's like, I joke that Minnesota is like Wisconsin 2.0. It's like woke Wisconsin. And so what's happening and seeing people like our age and people with very normal lives being thrown into the middle of this and dying for it. It's like, how do I don't want to make this like about me. And I was like texting you, Kate, about this earlier today. Like, I don't want to talk about how this is making me feel. I don't want to talk about like all of the mental anguish I've gone through because it's neither here there nor there. It doesn't compare to anything that they're going through. But at some point, like to collectively be able to talk about these things and not just sweep stuff under the rug and pretend like everything's fine. Like, I know we all joke that there's some form of escapism in our reading and our writing, and we're telling these stories because we don't want to deal with reality. But more so now than ever, we have to like pick our heads up, realize what's happening, and the there's that saying of like the pen is mightier than the sword, and the pen is like someone's response to power. And I think as writers we have a job to do, and it doesn't have to be, we don't need to be Kurt Vonnegut, like, but we do need to be able to say something and get it out.
Because I'm somebody who would in my natural state like shy away from that and just be like, well, I'm not like a social justice like writer, and it's like that's not at all like what it has to be either. And I don't think that's like, yeah, I think that that means whatever it means for you, because I think as writers, and I know, like, we all go through the imposter syndrome of, like, aspiring authors and do I call myself a writer or whatever, but, like, as a writer and as an aspiring author, whatever you wanna call yourself, like, you have a platform. You've created a platform for yourself, and you are creating a platform for yourself, and even in our little our humble podcast, like, there's hundreds of you that listen to this,
Which is
and that's
still
enough for
crazy to
me.
me.
That's crazy to
Like,
me, and that's enough for me to be like, I wanna get on and I wanna talk to the people listening, because I feel like if I'm feeling this way and we all have this, like, collective experience together, then they're feeling this way, and maybe my job with this small platform is just to get on and say like, "Hey, you're not alone." And
yeah.
and 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 it can be scary to know how to use this thing that we do in a way that could seem helpful. But I think like whatever that helpful thing means to you, whether if it's writing a fun romantic comedy, like I don't know what it is,
Right.
but like I think that we are asked, like, I think that not only does like the world need more of it, but like people are asking for it, and like people are really needing it. You don't have to be Kristen Hanna. You don't have to be writing these like epic historical fiction that like showcase these characters in like Nazi Germany and stuff. As important as her work is, and important as that work and is, like, if that's you, oh my gosh, you need it. If it's not you, there's another way that you can use your voice, um, to
But
help people.
also, like, our means of processing stuff as writers, like as creative people, is to create. And I think now more than ever, now's the time to create. It doesn't have to be something that you're going to use. It doesn't have to be something that you're even going to share with anyone. But we process things way differently than like the average bear.
Absolutely. And if you've listened to this podcast, like, a lot of times we're talking about the times that we're unable to write are the times that we're not feeling something in
Much.
particular. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so even if this wakes you up because it wakes up some sort of emotion in you to create something, then use that to create something, whatever that is for you, even if it's just for you to process whatever feelings you have and work through those feelings. Do that. I don't know. I honestly, like, we didn't even come on here to like because we had anything like really profound. Like, I have no clever things to make
Uh,
a beautiful
no.
post about with like these wonderful quotes, or like, oh, this is going to change your perspective on whatever. Like, it's literally just because this is how we're processing this
Hmm.
current thing right now. And maybe you are too.
And some people I know feel a little, like you said, Kate, like isolated, that they don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to talk about their feelings. And I know that's like why I'm talking to you about it, because like I think,
Just us talking about it,
yeah,
literally.
this
We
is
have
this is
not like had a phone call. But
no, no, like we all we did was just like the world's on fucking fire. Like,
Yeah. I think this is just too like, I think there's been so much over the years and obviously this year, and then it was just like, "Oh god, my jeez. What the fuck?" Today is just like a such a
and
what the fuck day.
and you look at, we have kids. So many of you have kids, and I had to sit my kids down today and tell them, "Hey, if you hear me and daddy like having like big feelings and using big words and talking to each other, we're not mad at each other. We're not fighting. We're literally just processing some really big stuff because there's some mean people in the world." And then of course I showered them in gifts because I don't know how else to just make it stop. But my kids are 4 and 2, and
Is it like just because you were having like and you were like
yeah,
maybe a little bit more on edge today and having like
yeah,
yeah, like
like,
more short. Yeah, I felt that too today. Like I was just like more on edge or more like on my phone too. And I think I
so
just wanna
I'm never on my phone this
I
much. It's
know.
ridiculous.
And honestly though, like it wasn't even like I just need to see what people are saying. It was like it made me feel better to see people saying stuff. You know, like it actually was just like, actually this feels big. Like this feels like a people are mad. Like and like
Thank
and this
God.
feels like a big moment for but we say that all the time. Like we said that like with BLM in Minneapolis and like we've said that in the past. And so like I don't know. I hope this is a turning point for a lot of people who needed a turning point. Shouldn't have taken this long. I will tell you that. But I don't know, maybe I don't know, but it just, like, it made me feel like the sense of obviously, like, we're snowed in, where we are
You
actually
especially.
physically isolated from each other and stuff, so, like, it just made me feel a little bit more connected to people, like, seeing it, and then the things that, like, made me truly mad were just, like, the posts and, like and some of them might be scheduled, like, I get it. You schedule posts, but it was just, like, scrolling through, like, people are just, like there are some really great articles and great videos out there that are putting out good information and saying all the right things and stuff, but then you, like, scroll and the next post is just, like, "Reasons I'll reject your query letter," and I was like, "Not fucking today, agent. Chill out.
Like, read the room, damn it.
Read the room.
Mhm.
Nobody
Oh
wants
my
that."
God. God, no. Nobody needs it. Nobody wants to
I
see
don't
it.
wanna think about my fucking query letter today.
No. You know what I wanna do? I wanna rage edit. Okay, back up. Um,
I just wanna eat my feelings.
well, that too. That's on the docket for after this. Like, Ben and Jerry, they're hanging out in my freezer, gonna indulge. It's great. But I'm all day, I rage cleaned. This was the most productive I have been in months. And literally no room was spared from my rage cleaning. And now that the whole house is spotless, I want to rage edit my book, and I want to make it
Oh.
all about fascism now. It was already like borderline very um asking questions of government authority,
Mhm.
and about what's wow, it's more about like persecution of people that are different. Um, so
Just all across the board.
all across the board. So here we are. And I want to rage edit and make it very clear what my message is, because this is getting ridiculous. That like people are reading these books. Like I have said this before. I apologize for this soapbox moment, but you put a microphone in front of me, you give me kind of permission to do it. And Fourth Wing is about politics. When people say, I want politics out of my entertainment, then the world is silent. then we have no opinions. Then we have
Yeah.
nothing to talk about. And saying, I just want to read books and I just want to, bury my head in the sand, like, you know what? Reading is resistance. Like, it is not neutral territory, and it never has been. If you are a woman and you are reading a book, guess what? That is a form of resistance because there are plenty of people that have tried for centuries not to let that happen. And if you think that you can, as a writer, not take all of this rage and this anger and make it into something, like craft it into a diamond, like compress it and make it something great and hard, whew, you're underestimating yourself. You're underselling your ability of your craft because I know how hard each and every one of you works. And you are not here to just people please. You are here because you have something to say. And we ask ourselves every day, why am I taking the time to punish myself for years on end? And it's not because we love pain. We do it because we love telling stories and sharing parts of ourselves with others. Please, if you don't if you don't have to write for a job, maybe now's the time for you to write for 100% you.
It
Don't
takes
do it
big
for me.
feelings. Yeah,
It takes big feelings.
it does. It takes big feelings. Man, there's so much I could say. It's almost like it's like frozen. I feel like frozen because there's so much I wanna there's so much to say, that I cannot process. And that's where I would just write it down. But
So true. Like, you don't even know
ah,
where to start,
I'm
and
just frozen and if you're like me, where I think in 2016, I was super involved, I was so informed, I was on top of everything, I was so angry, I was so outspoken, and I was just in it. We did the women's march, cool us, that seems like
a
what
lifetime ago.
people and but it was this time of just anger, but kind of optimism, kind of scared, but what did we really know? We had so many years of optimism before that, and just feeling like the world was this wonderful place for that short time. And then it just started to be well, everyone's kind of annoyed by me. I don't know. This is too much. It's controlling too many of my feelings and my view on the world. And and so, you put it away. You just end up putting it away. You get exhausted. You are just I'm tired. And then COVID happened. And then you're just focused on that. And then we had these few boring years of just really not having to pay much attention anymore. So,
Like,
it all went, and then you grow up and you had kids in that time, right? If you're me, then you get
that's
it.
that timeline.
And so I think in the last 2 years, then if you're like me, you've probably felt like I have kids, I'm I'm trying to stay informed, I'm trying to go to work, I'm trying to raise good kids, I'm trying to do all of these things while also a little scared, but not as energized and outspoken as you were in 2016. It's just different. And then while your back was turned, and now it's wow, we all really just we really let that like, yeah,
Let
yeah, I don't know.
we've we've let ourselves go, America.
Yeah,
We've
and
let
so now
ourselves
it's
go.
okay, this has to be a priority now again.
Yeah.
Now I'm mad
And
ag and now I'm truly, back. Yeah, I don't know if it's hard to explain, but if you are the same age as us and you get it, um, I don't know. That's where I would start because it's what can we do? Can somebody like give us some really great tangible things to do? And I know that that's like not going to Target and not being a consumer and giving into the um, you know, capitalist cycle and all, like I get it. I get it. We're not doing those things. What else? Because we're not going to be marching in the street next to you all when we have 2-year-olds and 4-year-olds and 3-year-olds and 5-year-olds at home. Like, and we want to be like, but what else can we do while we do all the other things?
Yeah, I it's like, Sorry, buddy. Like, you asked me to play with you." I'm like, "I just witnessed someone get murdered." But no, I can't say that. I have to say, "Sure." And I have to put it in a box, and then after the
Yeah.
kids go to bed, it all comes raging and spiraling out, and it's like it was like a death spiral last night, and today it was a I can't sit still or else I won't be able to pull out of the death spiral again.
No. And it feels so stupid because it's like we have so much privilege, like, and like this is like from a perspective of a person who has a very easy life, like, so I think that, and then like just to go into historical context and like how like peaceful protesters have been killed for generations, and Vietnam, like Kent State, and all of these we've watched like it happen, and then now to think it's like fucking border patrol.
I
I
have
don't
said
know.
this to I've said this to Cody so many times, and really anyone that listens, like, because I firmly believe in it. It's like fear is the driver behind 99% of what's going on. It is fear of people that are unlike you.
Well,
And
yeah, and that's how it's always been for.
I beg the question then of, if you don't know someone that's like that, and if you don't have access to someone that's like that, like, maybe you don't work with anyone that is LGBTQ. Maybe you don't live in a community that has very diverse communities and like races and ethnicities, but read a book.
God damn it, because, like, if there's nothing else we know as writers and readers, it's that there are fucking universal truths and universal themes because everyone in the fucking universe can understand love, can understand motherhood, can understand despair,
Pain. Yep.
pain, and so it's just not a fucking excuse anymore. It's just not. And you can go like it just isn't. We can get into fucking World War II. We can go into like all of those like arguments and whatever. And it's like, yeah, read a book. You guys love your fucking World War II history. Stop reading your 10th D-Day book and stop watching Band of Brothers and go read Eric Larson's In the Garden of Beasts, like about how the lead up to World War II and what life in Germany, like for regular citizens, looked like, and for like people in around these people, and how it wasn't just like an overnight thing.
It was their
Go,
neighbors.
yeah, go read a book.
It wasn't like, this isn't. Yeah, okay. If this gets taken out of context, I can be really mad. But this is not the politicians that are going and gunning down people, that are arresting people. This is your neighbor that has had the rhetoric of little man, of I have been shat on for too long. I'm going to now stick it to them. I'm going to stick it to the liberals. They are being brandished with no sense of what our constitution is, what our laws are, and just instead they are being armed with hatred. And guess what? That is every single historical conflict ever. the most obvious one that we all have learned so much in school is World War II and the Third Reich. And if that's where you want to start, great. Keep going backwards. Keep going. And please take this, like, I think we started off this episode like as just being, I don't know even what to say, and I clearly think that now I'm in my rage era, because all I want to do is just yell at people to quit thinking that history doesn't repeat itself. And what side of this do
Absolutely.
you want to be on now?
And the difference between and I go back to like the last two major, like I go back to like Vietnam and World War II and
Hmm.
whatever, because that's like generations of people that we know in our lives
Yeah.
that lived
Yeah.
through that, right? And so I
And
think our
people we looked up
brains
to.
go there. Yeah, and it's yeah, and their experiences, because their experiences shaped your grandparents' experiences, and your grandparents' experiences, Vietnam era, like shaped your parents' experiences. So like these things are what we can turn to, and in all those times, what we didn't have, in all those times, information was fucking everyone just watched Walter Cronkite, right? Like everyone just watched one news program, and it was Walter Cronkite, and whatever he said was the fucking news. This was it. It was the fucking news. Like, and they read like Stars and Stripes, or they read like this, like whatever that was, that one thing that everyone just got their news from, the radio or whatever it was. And now we have these freaking things that give us knowledge from the entire human existence exists on this. And like we have access to so much information and so much footage. We are seeing things we shouldn't be seeing. Like it's like there's no excuse for them to be able to control us in the way that they were controlling people in the 1940s. There's just no excuse for that anymore. Like we're just like educate yourself, read a book, keep writing the books.
And you
I'm
you don't
fucking
even have
tired.
to write, you don't even have to write political crap. You don't
No.
have to write dystopian or
Yeah.
manifestos or anything sexy like that. It can, if you write, it is a form of protest. You are
If
writing,
yeah, if you
even
have thoughts,
if you have thoughts, if you want to write a romance because you are so sick of everything that's happening around you, that's your form of protest. If you want to just be in this deliberate refusal of hating your neighbors and you want to write about loving your neighbors, that's your protest. And both forms of writing, every kind of book matters. But when fear gets in the way of us being creative, that's when you kind of know that they've won. Because I don't want anyone that listens to this being like, I don't know anything about you. I know what you have given me on social media. You don't know. We know like more than I would be comfortable with knowing, but then again, I put myself here. But I don't know anything about you. I don't know your background, but I do know that you're showing up in the world not because you hate everyone. So why be quiet about loving someone and loving your neighbor and being kind to people? And maybe you have the next, I don't know, like historical fiction that about last year. That's technically historical. But I just all I want to gain from this episode is people feeling comfortable to be angry about it. Like you don't have to mask it with us. Like we're not masking it. Like this is unfueled. There is no tequila fueling this rage. It is what I have been holding in. So just we're choosing to acknowledge the moment because this is our platform, like you said. We want to document what we are feeling. We want to process what we're feeling. So I'm not asking anyone to like panic and rage clean anything. No one needs to join me in that. It's just a call for you to continue to create. And maybe it just looks a little bit different now.
Yeah. I think acknowledging the moment is a really good way to put it too.
Yeah. And be patient with yourself. If you're feeling the rage, it's okay. You don't have to change what that rage is yet if you don't want to. You don't have to be like, I need to make this into something productive or tangible. No, you can sit in it. You can sit in the pain and you can sit in the anger and the grief. Because being patient before you act will always lead to you making a better decision. And I didn't make that up. I actually read that in Silver Cloak today because I was reading.
It's a good place to end.
Like, it wasn't even like I was listening to it while I was cleaning, and I was cleaning out the bathroom cupboards, and I heard that, and I'm like, oh, that was rather profound for a romantic scene. Shit.